So hi out there in diamond painting land. This is Tina Frazier coming to you from Columbus, Ohio. Today is Saturday, August 31st at approximately 10:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm coming to you today because I've kind of had this idea that I kind of wanted to toy around with just a little bit. I'm going to adjust a couple things here real quick. But those of you that watch my channel know that I am also a cross stitcher and that I have started and or finished several heaven and earth design patterns in cross stitch. And I know you can get heaven and earth design diamond painting patterns in kits from a couple of different places online that are actually authorized, but I have a couple of different cross stitch patterns that I have in progress or completed that I already own the Heaven and Earth Designs pattern for, and all I need to do is figure out how to get started in the diamond painting. So this one is one of them. This is the Faces of Fairy 135 by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. And I don't know if it's going to be able to zoom in on her face or not. Maybe if I go back out a little bit. She has a bunch of blue snowflakes, and there's 032 Krynic blending filament in here to make the sparkly bits more sparkly. I have actually finished stitching her. I have her as a stitched piece. I stitched her on 28 count even weave. 2 strands over 1 tent stitch, so it went real fast, but I did stitch her up already. I have her stitched, and she is one of the ones that I'd actually like to diamond paint, and because I think it would look absolutely beautiful on a diamond painting kit, or as a diamond painting. So my husband and I, during our Friday night out last night, we stopped into Hobby Lobby, and I was just kind of toying around with some things. So I figured out that diamond painting drills, the square ones that you use, the typical square drills that you use. This is DMC color number 3031. These are 2.5 millimeters. So these drills will basically fit on grid paper that is 10 squares, 10 square grid to the inch. So the each square is about 25 centimeters. So 2.5 millimeters is 10 across. So the actual grid size that you're looking at for your paper would be 10 by 10 grid for diamond painting. So on this piece of graph paper, there's 10 squares per the inch. So when you open it up, I'm going to go ahead and open you up to the second page here, because I've used the first page. I will show you that in a minute. But this is what this grid paper looks like, and it's not going to focus. Hello, focus. There we go. So you have bold lines, and then in between the bold lines are 10 squares. It's 10 squares across by 10 squares down. I'm sorry it's not really clear and it's kind of washed out, but you get the idea. So I got this pad of graph paper that's 10 squares to the inch. And then I also, I was looking for, this is just my sample. You'll see that in a minute. I was looking for something that, like contact paper or something that I could find that would be kind of tacky. And so I found these sheets in the scrapbooking aisle. These are 12-inch by 12-inch sheets. This is by the paper company, and I don't know if this is by the paper studio. Bear with me. The sheet was $1.99. All the all the specialty paper at Hobby Lobby. Why isn't it? It is not. It is not focusing. Focus. Hello. Hello. There we go. It's focused now. But anyway, the paper by the paper studio is $1.99 for the sheet, but it was on clearance. So I wanted to find something that had tackiness to it, kind of like contact paper, but I could kind of play around with and check the tackiness of, and also be able to see the grid paper lines through. So I found this. This is iridescent. This one is holographic glitter iridescent self-adhesive paper. I don't know if it'll focus or not. Maybe. Doesn't look like, there we go. Holographic glitter iridescent self-adhesive. So, I was checking it, and basically, you know, it has the backing on it. So you just kind of find a corner and kind of see if you can get the backing away from the paper. So, away from the contact paper type stuff. So here it is. Here's the iridescent sheet. You can see it's see-through, but it's very tacky on this one side. So I was like, okay, well I'll try it out with this and see how it works. And so I brought this stuff home. I got 2 sheets of it because I wanted to see how it worked. And last night I cut 2 little pieces off the corner. You can see here. I cut the corner off in 2 pieces right here, just to try it out a little bit. And so I wanted to do 2 things. I wanted to double check that the 10 by 10 grid paper, the 10 squares per the inch grid paper, would fit the drills that I had on hand. These are some of my drills from some of my other kits. And also how the drills would stick to the self-adhesive iridescent paper. So I could actually technically use this, I would be using this stuff as my canvas to stick the drills to. So that was my goal, to find out if the drills fit on the grid, how well the drills fit on the grid, and if the drills would actually stick to that adhesive, or that the adhesive that's on the back of that paper. So I took out the sheet. I took out the first sheet of the graph paper. I'm going to move this over here so I can show you a little bit better. So here is my little pieces. Here's the 2 corners of the sticky that I have. So I used a piece of parchment paper that I was using to cover up one of my other diamond paintings. So you can see here I have the iridescent pieces kind of washi taped down at the corners to my grid paper. So you can see it's really still, I got the tacky side up, and through this you can actually see the grid lines through the grid paper. And you can see I've actually stuck some of the drills to the thing, and you can see, looking at that yes, the drills actually do fit in the squares in the grid paper. So what I thought I would do was, since I'm a cross stitcher, I'm used to looking at a pattern and then putting my stitches on the fabric. So I'm used to not having the pattern on my actual working canvas, and I'm working from a pattern instead of from the canvas. So I figured I would just kind of give it a shot. And I kind of took a square or 2 of the piece that I just showed you, back up, of the cross stitch pattern that I showed you. I actually have a couple of squares of the pattern pulled up. Since, you know, I've already stitched it, I already bought the pattern. It's this one here. A couple of squares that I'm actually going to diamond paint on here for you. It's actually really easy to see through this stuff, and it does stick pretty darn well. So I just now have to find my tray. What happened to my tray? Oh, it's right in front of you. All right then. So I am going to cue my pattern up for a minute. Bear with me. All right. So the first one I am actually gonna do in this. Now I pulled drill colors that don't actually match the pattern. You don't know what part of the pattern I'm actually working on, so that's pretty cool. So I know for this one, up in the upper corner, so actually I'm going to move this, and I'm going to mark the actual grid that I'm using for this demonstration for you. Alright, so this is just washi tape that I've washi taped this on here, and we will kind of adjust this. Come on. There we go. so you can actually see that the drills are stuck to the paper. So we will actually use, I'm just going to generally mark the 10 by 10 grid section that we're going to use. I'm not necessarily needing to be careful, just so you can get an idea of the drill area that I'm going to be working on. So when I put this stickiness back down, when I put the my canvas back down, you can actually see the 10 by 10 area that I'm going to be drilling in. Okay, so there we go. All right, so I have the 10 by 10 drilling area that you can see right there. That's the area where I'm going to be placing my drills on here. And this is just a test run. So I know that my first color in this 10 by 10 square, I have three drills up in this corner that I need to place. So I'm actually going to place them. So I placed the first one here. And then I place the other two next to them. Okay. So in this 10 by 10 square, you don't know what part of the pattern this is, and these are not the colors that I'm using. There is no other, there's three other colors in this 10 by 10 square here. A majority of the colors is one of the other ones that I'm using. So I only have 3 of the 4 colors. So I will kind of put these away because there was only three drills of this color needed. So that color's done. I'm actually going to pick one of my other ones that I have. These like 66. I will do this one. That one's fairly cool. Plus I've already used it over here. Alright, so my next color is, yeah, so okay. 168 uses the most. I don't know, there's about the same amount. I use this color for that. Well, I can just kind of make it up as I go along. But anyway, so this one we'll actually do a little bit more. So in this one, there's going to be a couple of things here. So here's where some of this color might come into play. Yeah, and I am putting these down one by one. And I will take the camera down to show you on here. These do move around a little easy on this paper. But anyway, you kind of get the idea. So I'm just kind of putting these where the pattern would tell me to go based on the cross stitch pattern I'd be looking at. So we have something like that. And then I'm actually gonna do this over here. So I'd essentially be following the cross stitch pattern for this. So, alright. So you have that. Okay. And that's all we're gonna do. Actually, oops. Sorry about that. So anyway, you kind of get the idea. You kind of get the idea of what's happening here. So basically I'm just using this to fill in. Yeah, so we'll use the multi-placer. Place 3 right there. Whoops, I only got 2. Yeah, the tackiness of my drill pen is not there anymore because I use this on the diamond painting that I just finished. So you could actually move them around just a little bit. And then we'll fill in here. here and here. So one of the good things that I kind of think might come out of doing a diamond painting this way with the clear paper on top and using a grid paper underneath is that you're not going to have the grid lines show through your drills if there's spaces in between your drills. So, you know, that could be a good thing. And I'm just using extra drills that I have lying around. So I'm just kind of playing with this just to see if I think it would be worth trying to do this piece. Now, to convert a cross stitch pattern into a diamond painting, you would have to assume that the cross stitch, you'd be doing the equivalent of 10 stitches per inch. So you would take the stitch count. So like on something that's a stitch count of 160 stitches by 160 stitches, so you have 160 stitches wide by 160 stitches high. If you divide that by 10, that would mean it's 16 inches by 16 inches. Or in centimeters, you could figure it out that way. But so you would need a piece of your paper here that would be at least 16 inches by 16 inches. Now these sheets, these scrapbooking sheets only come in 12 inch by 12 inch sheets. So you would need 4 of them to cover a diamond painting that would be 160 drills by 160 drills. Which is also the stitch count for your cross stitch project. So what I would have to do would be I'd have to take 2 of these sheets, stick them side by side and tape them together and overlap them just a little bit. So this would give me basically 24. And then if I took 2 more and then added them down here at the bottom like this, I'd have a piece that was almost 24 by 24 inches. So that would be perfect for something where you needed a 16-inch piece. You probably have a lot extra stickiness left over, but you know that would be okay. One of the other things I tested on this, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it, but anyway, you can see here that the drills are actually lining up pretty well on the stickiness. But also there is a seam here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. You can see the overlap of the 2 pieces. There's a little bit of a shadow. Maybe if I use this, there's a bit of a shadow right here where you can see that they overlap. And that's where I stuck one piece onto the other piece. I'm not noticing where those drills are on the seam, where these tan drills are on the seam. I'm not noticing that they're ridged or that they're higher or bulging off the paper. So yeah, you can actually see it pretty well that the squares are the perfect size for the drills. So I'm actually really excited to do this because that means that, you know, I can go get 4 sheets of this paper from Hobby Lobby, this Paper Studio holographic, the holographic iridescent self-adhesive. I can get 4 sheets of this, stick them together on, you know, 4 of the sides, and I'll have a sheet big enough to cross stitch my, or to diamond paint my Heaven and Earth Designs cross stitch pattern. This particular pattern is 175 by 175. Yeah. So anyway, so it's going to be 17.5 inches by 17.5 inches. So if I get the 2 12 by 12 sheets, stick them together, I'll have 24 inches on each side. More than enough room for making my adjustments. Now the other thing I'll have to do though is I'll have to get 4 sheets or more of the gridded paper and figure out the 175 stitches, the 175 squares this way and 175 squares this way, tape them together, and that way I'll have my grid lines for the diamond painting. And then I just need to order the drills and away you go. So The nice thing about the Heaven and Earth design patterns is they actually give you the stitch count for each of the colors in the pattern. So this particular pattern has, bear with me while I reach over, this particular pattern, see if it says, excuse me, this particular pattern has 88 colors. None of the colors have partial stitches. They're all full cross stitches. So this pattern will work. There's no 3/4 stitches, half stitches, or quarter stitches. The biggest color has the color with the most amount of stitches has, where was it? 3,320 stitches. The next highest number of stitches is 3,106. So these Heaven and Earth designs actually give you the stitch counts for all the colors that you need. So basically, you can go in and order the bags of drills that you need. So most of the colors in this, I'm going to only need to order one bag. If I don't already have enough drills in some of these colors, like for color number 647, which I happen to have here, I only have this much on hand in 647. But I know I'm going to need 3,106 because that's how much is in the 647 color for this pattern. So I would actually need at 200, roughly 200 drills per bag. I know that I'm going to need, sorry, it's late on Saturday night. My math isn't exactly great. So let's see. Go here. 3106 divided by 200. 15. I need 16 bags. I need to order 16 bags of 647. I don't know that I have 200 in here. I might. So I'm probably just going to order 16 bags. It's 15.53 bags. So I probably ordered just 15 bags because I think I have the 0.53, but I might order just 16 and just be done with it, have extra drills on hand. But yeah, so that's what we're looking at. So you take the number of drills. If you have less than about 180 stitches per color, you just need to order one bag. But if you have more than about that, you should order at least 2 bags of every color. And then it goes up from there based on the number of stitches. But yeah, so you can order from different places on either Etsy or some of the diamond painting companies you can order the drills from. One of the places that I've been frequenting is a company called Stitches to Stones, and they have some of the cheapest bags. They sell their bags anywhere from 15 cents for 200 to about 18 or 19 cents, maybe 20 cents for 200 bags. There's another seller on Etsy called Diamond Drills USA. I believe their bags are 70 cents for 200. But anyway, yeah. So all I got to do now is, now that I figured out that I could actually use this, I can actually order drills and start my first cross-stitch pattern conversion to diamond painting on my own. Now, the other thing that I'm going to have to figure out too is on this thing, what I thought I could do is, once I was done with the diamond painting, I could go out and get one of those painting canvases, the ones that everybody buys for painting. I can go get a painting canvas, and when I'm ready to mount and frame this, all I gotta do is find an adhesive that will adhere this shiny sheet to the painted canvas, the plastic, or the painting canvas. Adhere the sheet to it, and then I can use washi tape or decorative tape or some kind of tape to cover up the additional adhesive that I don't cover up with drills in this, and then I can kind of have my own diamond painting. But those are just some things that I'm kind of playing around with. Anyway, I hope that's really all I have for you tonight. I hope you've gotten something out of this kind of mashup tutorial, or kind of like an idea tutorial that I have. It's not really a tutorial, but it's just showing you an idea that I'm kind of developing to convert some of my cross stitch, especially my Heaven and Earth Designs cross stitch, into diamond paintings. So kind of on the cheap and kind of on my own. The thing that's going to cost me the most money out of this whole thing is getting the drills, obviously, because I don't have a whole huge stock of DMC. I have quite a bit, but I don't have a whole huge stock of DMC, of the square diamonds. And I will be doing squares for all of these because, you know, well, cross stitching is square. And anyway, I'm not really going to edit this video either. This is kind of going up raw because this process is still kind of raw and still kind of new. And I haven't perfected it yet. So this is just something I'm probably going to be trying, and I just wanted to give you like a kind of a brief intro video to something that I'm going to be trying on my channel at a later time. So anyway, I hope you guys have a good evening. Keep on keeping on, because that's all we can do. And I hope you guys out there in US and around the world that celebrate Labor Day weekend, I hope you guys have a good 3-day weekend. I'm looking forward to having Monday off. We're having car problems though, which really sucks. So yeah. Anyway, also, those of you in the path of the hurricane that's getting ready to hit Florida, I hope you all stay safe. And hopefully it won't be as bad as everyone's fearing. But anyway, stay safe. I hope you guys all have safe refuge somewhere, or you are prepared for what may come in this next week. Take care. Hopefully we'll see you guys on the flip side, and keep on keeping on, because that's really all we can do. All right, that's it. That's all I have for you tonight. So anyway, that being said, take care and keep on diamond painting. Have a great night. Bye now.